Greetings, this is Samir Gradia with New York Mets News on Earth-Based Records YouTube channel. Now, of course, the biggest news since the last I broadcasted a couple days ago announcing that I will be doing updates on New York Mets News. Now, this will not be, play-by-play type updates, there's a lot going on. Of course, the number one new event was the signing of yeah, Scherzer. Scherzer. Max. Mad Max. Mad Max Scherzer. And that 1-2 punch with Jacob DeGrom. And now, the Mets are not through with regards to pitching. They are still reportedly looking for one more major pitching signing. Now, of course, there is a left-hander, in the works. Could be Rodin, but they need a lefty specialist. There might be another starter as well. So they're definitely looking for a lefty specialist. They might also be looking for a third ace in the rotation. That usually is what teams might do. Now, what else is going on? Javier Baez signing, 6 years, $140 million with the Detroit Tigers. Now, why do I mention that? Michael Conforto was also looking for that type of deal. 6 years, $140 million, and his agent is Scott Boras. Now, this is the important thing. Both Noah Syndergaard, the dearly departed. He's over here now in California with the Angels. That's why I say that. Think about it. Now, he was looking for a long-term contract. He had a bad year, coming off a bad year. 18.4 qualifying offer from the Mets, which is standard if you want to get a draft pick compensation from the new team. In this case, the California Angels has signed Noah Syndergaard for 1 year. I don't have the dollar amount. It's more than 18.4, obviously. Now, here's the thing. The Mets will get a draft pick compensation for that signing of Noah by California, from California. See that? As we approach the Christmas season. Now, this is why I mentioned Michael Conforto also received a 18.4 qualifying offer from the Mets, $18.4 million. That is a mandatory if you want to either sign the player or receive a draft pick if the player remains unsigned. Now, Michael Conforto and the Mets are definitely parting ways. Now, this is the thing. He's also coming off a bad year, Michael Conforto, and he does pencil in at 6 years, 140 at this time. That contract went to Javier Baez. This is hocus pocus, admittedly. This is not hocus pocus. He came off a bad year, got the qualifying offer at 18.4. How are you going to get a long-term contract, 6 years, when you're coming off a bad year, and, so on and so forth? It's possible. The Phillies are interested and can use a player such as Michael Conforto, the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I've looked through the top 5 teams that for destinations for Michael Conforto, and the number one possible destination being Philadelphia. Now, they do have another alternative that they might look into, and that's Kyle Schwarber. The Mets might also be interested in Kyle Schwarber, but there is a question. They do have a crowded outfield. They're looking to sign Brendan Nimmo for a long extension. Now, what's the difference in the situation of, say, Conforto and Nimmo? This is the thing. The last 2 years, Nimmo has been on the incline. having improved over the last 2 years. Now, um, they're similar players. Conforto supposed to be, showing more power in the early years. I think he came out of high school, high draft pick, something like Oregon. I'm not sure exactly, or maybe college, but uh, they're about. They came out like drafted, 1 year after each other, almost at the same time, profiling as similar players. Uh, Nimmo having two straight improving years. So that's the one the Mets are gonna, in today's news, are gonna offer a longer extension, like a long term contract. He's also in a similar situation, kind of, last year of his contract. So that is the competition between Nimmo and Conforto. Now, there's another player, Dom Smith. They came up together also. Profile's a very good first baseman, kind of 20 home runs, a similar offensively, good defensive first baseman, Dom Smith. Now he's coming off a bad year, but this is not the same contract problem. Dom Smith probably is not going anywhere. Now the problem for the Mets is they're built to win right now. What we're seeing is Canha, the new signing. This was the additional man. Now I haven't looked at the farm system, et cetera, et cetera. They did say they want to add one more hitter. Uh, Now, Dom Smith, Schwarber may not be, Schwarber may be the best available, but may not be the right fit because it's on, this just signed Canha. There's the issue of J.D. Davis. Bias is already off the team, so we're looking at, an infield of Escobar, McNeil. Um, J.D. Davis is still uncertain, and then we're looking to, of course, Lindor and Alonso in the infield. Dom Smith is like a backup first baseman, and there's others who can back up at first base and outfield. And then there is, of course, penciled in, coming off a drug and alcohol disallowment, 1 year suspension for his, the great Robinson Cano coming from Seattle, of course, one of the great all-time. He was on the Yankees also. He's just a little older. He might help with some of the younger players, perhaps Escobar and even McNeil, but also, just like and Dom Smith. All of these guys. Dom Smith, not the same position, of course, as Robinson Cano. Really considered one of he was on the Seattle, then he was also on the Yankees, a little older gentleman. Now, so that's the situation. It's unlikely Dom Smith is going anywhere. He could turn around his career easily. The problem is you're dealing with a lot of super sub, players between Canha, McNeil, J.D. Davis, who could profile into the outfield. Nimmo, a long-term super sub. The only starter you got in the outfield is Starling Marte. You're going to probably pencil in Nimmo in the outfield. He's a good defender. I think he has a strong arm. He might end up in right field. Possibly J.D. Davis could end up in left field. Dom Smith still trying to prove himself. The Mets have no reason to let him go. Nimmo will get a long-term extension, and that's going to keep Cano on the team with Escobar, Dom Smith. McNeil is still young, and so this is like going to be like an older statesman, like catcher. You got McCann. Now, this is the thing about Canha. I did get the news on Canha today. Very low batting average, uh, high power, versatile defender. He is not a liability on defense. This is the key. High on base percentage. We've seen these before. Low batting average, high on base percentage. This is a feared power hitter and tends to walk a lot, is usually what it is, like Dave Kingman. Again, they're so afraid of his power that they avoided him a lot. And he'd take the ball and get on first base. and he'll swing at anything near the strike zone, obviously with that low batting average because he's a power hitter, but gets on base a lot. Over the major, this look at 377 on base percentage. Look, a 300 hitter could have a 400 on base percentage. He's close, to that as far as on base. So he'll be on first base, or he might circle the bases. Canha and a good defense, not a liability. Versatile, like again, a little like Dave Kingman. Apparently not a defensive liability. So what we're looking at, extension for Nimmo. Canha gets a check mark. Um, Probably Dom Smith will remain. Schwarber, he is now the highest paid player in baseball at 43.3 million. Now the talk was 40 million 3 years or 40 million 4 years, and the extra 10 million to sweeten the pot. And that makes it, now this is for the collective bargaining negotiation, which is coming up December 2nd, that the players want to boost these average salaries. So that's what Schwarber does for the collective bargaining players process. They're boosting the highest overall because they're trying to get 100 million minimum. One of the things the players are asking for is a minimum salary once you've achieved your time, obviously, of 100 million of probably these free agent levels, minimum wage, $100 million, contract. Now this will cut down on the legal haggling in some ways. Like we have this qualifying offer. This might move these qualifying offers. The next step is like if the team, if there is a free agent signing, rejected by, the qualifying offer rejected, for example, then the minimum buy-in is going to be 100 million. So you're not going to be nickel and diming these qualifying offers like Noah Syndergaard, and maybe got something north of 18.4, still a 1 year contract. So this is a case where this, for these, nickel and diming these qualifying offers. Now that's going to put a pressure on teams like, look, 18-point, we just gonna, we don't, they can take it or leave. Someone like Nimmo, not Nimmo, but Noah or Conforto, like Mets. Well, we might just sign Schwarber. These are the kind of situations. Smooth Radio, Earth-based records.